What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. And I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Also, I was the 2018, I think I said that already. Maybe I did. I don't know if I did or not. And also,
words upon words
upon words. So there you go. And also, I host the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And through that collaboration, I've been able to reach out directly or indirectly to over 75,000 fathers in the world this year. And two, I am the board chair for the Global Food and Drink Initiative, which is a multimedia not-for-profit that showcases Blacks in the diaspora that are doing their thing in food, wine, and travel. And I am joined by Mr. Ryan Knight. What's going on?
Yeah, nothing much. So happy to be here as always on the Morning Vibe. For those that don't know me, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. And actually, I'm the current executive director, but a co-executive director. Shout out to my counterpart, Nicola Harris, that works alongside me with the ACBN. Also, I am an entrepreneur. I run a company called Detailing Nights, and I don't have my shirt next to me to just pretend that Detailing Nights t-shirt is in my hand. But yeah, we do mobile waterless car cleaning. So we go to people's houses and their offices, clean their car on the spot without any water, and our plant-based, eco-friendly cleaning supplies. Of course, happy about our youth entrepreneurship program. Shout out to Taj, Torian, and Nathan. That's our
Nathan. You can't forget Nathan, man. Right? Don't forget Nathan.
And yeah, for the fall, I guess, edition. So they're working part-time in the evenings and on the weekends. So we are going to be starting back recruiting, I believe, January. So get in contact with me if you're looking at your son or daughter in high school right now and they are looking for a part-time job, having a difficult time finding one. Let's introduce them to entrepreneurship so they can create their own job. So please reach out.
Absolutely. And we're running a really tight ship this morning because we have two special guests and they're only available for a few moments. So let's get it right now. So today we're going to be chatting about the Toronto Dominion and the Canadian Association of Black Lawyers have combined to announce and also roll out a program to help empower the next generation of Black lawyers. And we're very blessed and highly favored today to have Diana Lee, who is going to join us right here. She is the Associate Vice President, Legal at TD. And also we have Rafael Tachie, President of the Canadian Association of Black Lawyers, and he's also Senior Counsel at TD. We have them both here this morning, and we're very happy to have both of them. Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks, Dr. Vibe. Very nice to meet you, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you so much Diana. For having us.
Excellent. I know we are on a tight deadline. Sounds very corporate. We're on a tight schedule here today. And so we're looking forward to find out about the background about this collaboration and how it's going to have positive effects, especially in the legal community in not only TD, but in this country. But first, we'd like to get a little bit of background on each of you, and we'd like to have ladies first. So Diana, please share a little bit about yourself.
Sure, thanks. So I'm an associate vice president within the legal department at TD, where I lead a team of lawyers who are responsible for supporting TD in a number of areas of change and priority for the bank. And so that includes work on our digital and mobile platforms, AI, payments, marketing, our agile transformation as an organization, as well as human rights. And so a broad array of topics. And, in addition to that work that I do, I also lead our diversity and inclusion leadership council for the legal department, as well as the broader legal and compliance areas. And so, that really is work that means a lot to me personally. And I'm just thrilled to be here and to be speaking with you.
Thank you. Rafael.
Dr. Vibe.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you are on the go all the time.
I am. So I'm currently the president of the Canadian Association of Black Lawyers and a senior counsel at TD, where I'm responsible for estate, trust, and our senior and vulnerable clients. But prior to that, my journey started in Canada as an immigrant. My parents brought me here when I was 12 and 13. We lived in Vancouver. I went to undergrad there, went to law school in the University of Victoria, got into estates and trust planning, and then eventually got into financial services, where it led me to TD. That journey has allowed me to understand, one, for Black lawyers, not only the challenges we face getting into the legal profession, but also the wealth gap that exists for Black professionals between other professionals. And so I'm happy and excited to have the conversation we're about to have, because it is something that addresses a real need in our community. So I'll stop there. Maybe I'll continue later.
No problem. I'm going to just ask the first question, and then Ryan, come on in and let's have a conversation. As I tell people, I don't like to do interviews. I like to do conversations. So Rafael and Diana, give us the background. How did this start? How did this idea come to fruition?
Rafael, do you want to kick off?
Maybe I'll start on my end, and then you can chime in.
Sure.
So I joined TD in 2019, and as part of that, TD's recruitment of me when I was coming in, our senior general counsel really started asking me questions about the work I was doing with CABL, and what CABL did for the profession, what the kinds of challenges Black lawyers were facing. And so at the end of the day, one of the conversations we had was, what unique perspective do I bring to the law as a Black lawyer, and how can that inform the TD legal department when I joined it? So that's the beginning of that conversation. Ultimately, there was a lot of opportunity to speak about our experience in different forums with other lawyers and non-lawyers. And then COVID came about and George Floyd happened. And we started at CABL, started thinking that what are the things that we could do to help our community. And for me, at the time as vice president, I sat in the nexus of, financial services, which impacts our community really highly. And as an estates lawyer, in the moment when Black Canadians were dying and getting sick, it was really kind of a natural nexus for me. And so I had lots of conversations with both my general counsel as well as the business partners. And slowly they became familiar with the work that CABL did. That allowed us, when they were thinking about how to support and put in place programming to really deal with anti-Black racism, CABL became a natural partner, and we were honored to be invited.
But just for those that don't know what CABL does, can you give a little background, like the mandate of the Canadian Association of Black Lawyers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So CABL stands for, as you said, Ryan, Canadian Association of Black Lawyers. Mm-hmm. We have been in place for 25 years. Mm-hmm. Our mandate started initially as an association of Black lawyers to kind of give us a home to go and take off the armor that we have to put on when we go to work, and to learn from each other and to learn from the experiences of the people that had gone before us. Slowly, our mandate started expanding because as lawyers in our community, we sit in a place of privilege. We know information, we have access to information that not everyone in our community has. So over the 25 years, our mandate has broadened. Now we have about 5 key programming we do. The first program is really having what we call public interest litigation and intervention. So if a case is out there that impacts our community, and we want to make sure that our voice, the voice of our community, is heard, we have an opportunity to step in and apply to the court to say, can we speak on this issue that we think will disproportionately impact our community? We also advocate with the government on laws that are coming in place that we think will potentially impact our community in negative ways. So last year we were advocating on changes to the criminal code. We've gone to the Supreme Court of Canada to argue on cases that we think will impact our community. So that's one arm of what we do. We also do some research. And finally, we try to build capacity and professional development, which is where this program comes in. We try to work with organizations to develop and bring up the next generation of Black students. So that's a bit about us.
Diana, what was your involvement from the beginning?
So, the reason why I suggested that Rafael kick off is really, he's humble, and so he would not frame it this way. But I think this really this idea sparked in conversations with him and senior lawyers within the legal department. So the experience and perspective that Rafael brings, I think it's really helped to drive the conversations for us that we have been having for many years about we need to see more diversity and inclusion in, the legal industry as a whole. No organization is immune to those issues. And so what can we do to really make a difference here? And I think his leadership really helped create something concrete that we could do beyond what we already do within our organization, which is, of course, anytime we have a role or vacancy or opportunity, we approach it from a lens of, trying to find the best talent from across, all possible candidates and taking diversity and inclusion at the heart of any of those decisions. And so what we've really tried to do here is find a meaningful way to make real change for the industry. And I think one of the things that's so great about this program too is it has it recognizes the benefit of participating in this program for everybody. So whether you're one of the Black Canadian lawyers who've been identified through the Canadian Association of Black Lawyers to participate. And just to plug there, if anybody is interested, then you can reach out to CABL via their website to put your hand up and say, yeah, I'd love to participate in this program. There's a running list happening through there. But then in addition, all of those at TD who are participating in this program, so the senior lawyers who are being matched one-on-one with the CABL lawyers. And in addition, the financial literacy and financial planning experts within the organization who are providing programming to participants in the program, everyone is benefiting by being part of this conversation, by learning from the incredible strengths of Black Canadian lawyers who are participating in this program. And so I think, the fact that it's positioned that way as, beneficial for all, respecting and recognizing the incredible strengths and value that all Black Canadian lawyers can bring to our industry, that's a really important part of it, I think.
Let me ask, from the time this idea was birthed to it being rolled out, what sort of period of time was that?
Rafael, you might be muted, unless it's just me. I'll chime in and say I think it was months, and so whether that sounds short or long, I don't know, but I would say from our side, it felt like a frenzy to get this out as soon as we could. When we found the idea, we just wanted to get started. Was the key point. I think that the reason why it took some time is we certainly wanted to make sure it was a thoughtful approach. And that really was going to have value for the participants. There's so many mentoring programs that are potentially out there, and each comes with a different approach. And I think what we wanted here is it's more than mentoring. It's more than mentoring in the sense that a lot of people think about it as. We want to create real potential opportunities for other forms of career development opportunities, potentially sponsorship, have real meaningful content that participants would want, both for their personal development as well as their career development. So it was important to us that we developed that approach to it, that we had real direct input from Black Canadian lawyers who this program is designed to support, right? It's not something that's being sort of foisted from an external point of view. This is something that's developed with the community. And so all of that meant it took longer than, a few weeks, but I really think that the overall design of the program benefits for the time that was put in.
Now you're on mute, Dr. Vibe. I don't know, Rafael, did you want to add to that before I ask my question?
No, I think Diana covered it, but I'll just take your question. I'm also having trouble hearing her clearly, so I might miss a detail, but all right.
Oh, well, I'm curious now because Diana, you're saying a couple months, and to me, in the bank, dealing with banks, that is fast. So,
yeah, that's fast. That is fast,
right? So now,
I would say, yeah, that's what. First of all, I think overall, we're trying to demonstrate that we're as fast and agile as anybody, and I really think this actually could be a great example of that. Yes. If you know that something is a priority, if you know that something matters, believe me, the bank can act fast on those things. And so, it's a challenge because it's a big organization. And so there's obviously complexity. Even with this program, we wanted to make sure we had the expertise of, people who specialize in financial planning and to be able to bring their strengths, to this programming. And so that all takes time. And certainly the organization is complex. But I think the other side of that is we have significant resources to bring to any complex problem, right? So whether that's people or being able to provide, philanthropic giving, because, another aspect of this, it's not just this program that's launching, but also $200,000 was committed by TD to CABL to support other initiatives that they have going, which Rafael can of course speak to more. And so, I think there is a lot of benefit that large organizations can bring by putting their sort of weight behind a cause that's so important.
Rafael, anything you wanting to add?
Dr. Bayo, I'm sorry, I can't hear Diana really well, so I don't know where she left off. But so if you frame it into a question, I'll answer it. I'm having trouble hearing her. No,
what sort of opportunities does this bring CABL, this collaboration?
For us, it's a giant step towards a lot of our mission. So if you think about what I said earlier about the gaps that Black students and Black lawyers face, one, in getting into the profession, two, in having doors open for them once they're in the profession, and three, the kind of wealth gap that exists between our community in terms of the knowledge of how we financially manage our money and deal with student loans and debt. This program really addresses all three things. The capacity building element's really awesome because it's a way of mentoring and connecting Black students with senior lawyers that can actually open doors for them. Not just a conversation, but it is how can I help you move from the stage you're in today to the next stage. To me, that is an important component of the program. The other piece is having conversation all the way from how do I open a bank account and pay my student loans to now I have a little bit of money. How do I invest in my community? I'm starting a family. I'm buying a house. How should I think about, what are the things I should be thinking about? If you're a senior lawyer and you have a little bit saved up and you're planning for retirement, how do I plan for retirement? How do I transition my book of business financially? How does that look like for me? That conversation and that information is something that we always have to come by later in our careers or by accident. What we're hoping to do with this program is to actually bring that information early on and help Black lawyers and Black students think about their financial future from the beginning of their careers and implement the kind of structures and plans that will hopefully help them grow not only their profession and their practice and their firms, but also their families and our community.
Ryan?
I was curious now, being able to put this partnership together, I'm curious what kind of conversations you're having with the business community in the Black community, like the organizations like Black North Initiative, Black Opportunity Fund, CLAR that exists. Has there been any talks about how they could support what you're doing? And if so, kind of what stages would those be at?
So I would say from the TD lens, I'll let Darren speak to it because TD just recently made a big announcement with Black Opportunity Fund as well. With the other community organizations, Black North, for example, is relatively new and it's now building its team. We collaborated. I've had a presentation with Wes to speak about the work that we're doing, but those are kind of the initial steps that we've taken. Some CABL members are also members of Black North. So we see that eventually there will be opportunities to work together. But right now it's just been, let's understand what you're doing, understand who we are, what are we doing, and identify the right places to collaborate. The other piece, another good example I want to highlight is the Black Legal Action Center. That is a fantastic organization. They do a lot of work for low-income Black families that need legal help. We collaborate with them a lot. One of the interventions we did last year in front of the Court of Appeal, we did together. Where we're talking about collaborating on some other interesting projects. I don't want to say out loud yet till it's finalized, but for us, that's probably been one of our key partners in this space.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then from my side, just to add with respect to TD, I think this CABL initiative and support of CABL is part of a, multifaceted approach to supporting this overall goal of how are we combating anti-Black racism and systemic racism, and how are we supporting, diversity and inclusion within our communities and support of Black communities specifically. And so that includes, as Rafael mentioned, so that, the relatively recent, I think a few weeks ago, announcement of $10 million from TD to the Black Opportunity Fund to support Black businesses. To date, we're talking about over $12 million that TD has contributed to this overall cause through various organizations. And so many of the organizations, if not all that you mentioned, Ryan, we have connections with, and there are either, discussions about potential opportunities to work together or ways that TD can support. And so it is an ongoing focus where I think clearly through even some of the news that I just recapped now, TD is investing in this, putting dollars behind it, in addition to putting people and sort of making sure that our products and services are delivering what's needed for angle that we.
All right, we're having a little bit of a technical challenge on Diana's end, but we're going to have to wrap it up fairly quick. So, Rafael, question as we close out the conversation. What are you wanting to see come out of this 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years down the line? I'm also going to screen share the CABL website where it shows the announcement. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, for the next 3 years, one of the things that I hope is that we will see relationships created between not only Black students and the lawyers at TD, but between Black students and the profession generally, to try and move and open doors for the students that are coming. For a lot of people in our community, we tend to be the first generation of our family to become lawyers. Sometimes that means we don't know the landscape we're navigating. So having someone walk you through and help you, law is an apprenticeship by training. That's what it is. By helping someone help you apprentice, they show you the way, and you are able to develop a better and a bigger career than you otherwise would. So that's one hope. The other hope is that the information gap that exists in our community about financial health and about our prospects as lawyers, it's closed. And that folks know whatever career they want, how to pursue that, whatever financial future they want for themselves, that the information is available to them readily and easily for them to be able to identify those things and build the kind of career and the kind of family and community that we all want. Finally, before I wrap, I want to encourage everyone to attend our national conference and gala. It's November 4th, 5th, and 6th, where we're having lots of conversations like this. And we're talking specifically about what CABL can do and other organizations can do. And we're then celebrating our 25th anniversary. So we invite everyone in the community, check out our website. You can see the screenshot of our website now. The registration information is there. We'll love a lot of people from our community to join us there.
Thank you. And Diana, final words, some things you'd like to see 1 year, 2 year, 3 years down the line in regards to this great initiative.
Thank you so much, and sorry for my technical difficulties. Honestly, we are committed to having this program grow and to continuing to do all we can to support diversity and inclusion, and both within the legal industry and beyond. And so if anybody ever wants to chat, I can, I'm reachable on LinkedIn. And as well, I think, like I mentioned, if anybody's interested in participating in this program, then go to the CABL website and send an email through there via that contact information. And we'd be happy to grow this program in the future. We're looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Diana, Rafael, thank you so much for all you have done, are doing, and will be doing. And I have a feeling we're going to be seeing you again on this platform. But most importantly, remember to give yourselves grace, and congratulations on some great work. Take care and have a great day.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Dr. Vibe. Thank you, Ryan. It was great talk, opportunity to speak to you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.
There we go.
Right, making progress I want to see more the Black community stepping up. They've been around for 25 years. I had only heard of them in passing. So we definitely need to lean in and support these organizations that are doing some great work.
Yeah, I did not know that TD had contributed $12 million.
Right. I know Black Opportunity Fund, I think, got 10 million they announced last week.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put up the CABL website that shows the announcement again, and then I'm going to click on the actual press release about the announcement, and this is here.
Gotcha.
So you can go and check it out. So just go to the CABL website, and I'll put it up, the website address for CABL. That's cabl.ca. And I'll just read, to the two key parts of this collaboration is that members of CABL will have access to meaningful one-on-one and group coaching, networking advice, sponsorship and career growth, and tailored financial planning and wealth management from TD. These efforts are intended to help those close the community gap for Black Canadian lawyers and foster a more equitable Canadian legal industry. And the second thing, TD is donating $200,000 excuse me, over the next 3 years to support CABL's efforts to increase representation within the legal community and help dismantle barriers Black lawyers may face. With these funds, CABL will conduct a survey to gain quantitative insights from Black lawyers to better understand the Black experience in Canada's legal profession, particularly on Bay Street. TD funding will also help CABL expand across Canada, creating a national mentorship program focused on the career advancement of law students, including new and foreign trained lawyers and Black lawyers. So that are the two main foundations of this collaboration. So what do you think, Ryan? Liking it?
Well, anytime you need a lawyer, it's not the greatest. So it's like, yes, you want to see that. You want to know that there's an option when things are happening in the Black community to get, like Diana said, like put that weight behind what you're going through. A lot of times, Black residents, if a legal issue comes up, you're really fighting on your own. You're trying to figure out legal aid. You're probably dealing with the court-appointed lawyer, so you're not really getting the full weight of a solid representation in your battle. So CABL being there, he mentioned was it the Black Lawyers Association of Canada or Black Legal Clinic?
Black Legal Clinic that's in Toronto. Black African Legal Clinic, BALC, yeah.
Yeah, so these two being able to put more weight behind or support Black residents going through a hardship. And it's a difficult time when you have legal issues pop up, and when you're on your own, it just adds to the stress. So glad that this exists.
Now, because of that, we were on really tight timelines. Christopher Lawrence, you had two questions. I'm going to put them up, and then I'm going to see if I can get in contact with Diana to have her answer them. Your first question, the CABL has started an initiative with TD called Mentor and Colored Young Lawyer. Yes. Did we get this right? I hope that question was answered. Christopher, you know how to get a hold of me on the back channel. I actually sent you a video message yesterday, and we're now communicating with each other through LinkedIn. So if you have any other questions, I know this is another one of the questions. What area of law does this initiative focus in? Real estate law, business law, etc. Please send me your questions via LinkedIn, and I will ask Diane them directly.
Yeah. All right. It didn't seem like it was a specific area of law.
Yeah.
It's like any lawyers can join.
Yeah, Christopher, send me both those questions. I think the first one was answered by both of them, and from me reading through the information live. But if not, again, send it to me. I'm going to be in contact with Diana, and we'll take it from there. So again, shorter version of the morning vibe this morning. We just had to get out by the bottom of the hour. So Ryan, what is up this weekend?
Ooh, this weekend, what is happening? Nothing specific. This past week had been a lighter load that I'm usually used to. So it was an interesting way to kind of decompress and not be so fully loaded and back-to-back meetings. So my mind feels,
you mean you're taking some of my philosophy?
Hey, it rubs off, right? The more I hang around you and more positive role models, more positivity will happen in my life. Oh, but Monday, the movie about Marcus Garvey is being premiered through the Real World Film Festival.
Yeah.
So we at ACBN are doing kind of like a team building, whoever wants to come see the movie, because they're doing in-person screenings. So we're going to go see that as a team and hopefully get inspired and come back with
You better get inspired.
NIA uniforms, and we'll launch the Black Star Line Part 2, version 2.
Well, I don't know if Marcus Garvey can inspire us. I don't know what can.
Oh dear. Thank you. Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Now, who do we have coming up next Monday and next Friday?
So Monday, we have the winner of the ACBN Business Grant, Moi Fung, is going to come on and talk about, hey, what it was like to be a winner, but more importantly, the great work that she's doing in the community supporting women entrepreneurs or budding women entrepreneurs. So she's doing some great sessions with them, and we wanted to find out more. And then Friday, we have Tim Frey locked in from, Frey Cat Productions. So he is working on a very interesting initiative to help Black media and content creators to publish their projects and then get them into mainstream TV channels and streaming channels. So looking forward to learn more about that too.
That is fantastic. And what's planned for the weekend?
Yeah, I think I was just relaxed. Oh, sorry. Black Boys Code is actually happening tomorrow. So we'll be doing that session. We're continuing our building of websites. So adding in the CSS and JavaScript. So yes, I feel like I'm alongside them learning as the instructor goes through, because learning how to build a website from scratch is a good skill to have, at least just to have the overarching understanding of it, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Good stuff. So we will see everybody on Monday.
Wait, so what are you up to this weekend?
Oh, me? I have a planning session tomorrow because I've been asked by a few organizations, including the City of Toronto, actually on the 28th. So I think, is it the 28th? I am going to be co-hosting a conversation about the impact of COVID on the Black community, not just from a physical, emotional, and mental, but also economic sense.
Big time.
Because a number of people.
Who's going to be in the conversation with you?
I'm going to be co-hosting with Paul Osborne, longtime community leader. Right. And so we're going to be co-hosting that. And we have a number of, I think we have a naturopath on the panel. We have a lawyer. We have someone who has some very good foundation in economics. And we're going to have a community conversation about the impact of COVID, because a lot of people who look like you and us work in the service industry.
Yes.
And there are a number of people who look like us who work in the service industry. They're very wary of wanting to go back to work. They don't feel it's safe, etc. So we're going to be hosting this epic conversation. Excellent. So I have the planning meeting for that tomorrow to go over, because I'm going to be hosting and basically being the technical person behind it. So we're going to spend most of that day doing that. Sunday, we have Black Canada Talking with Cesar and also El Jones. I'm actually looking for a third person to join in the seat. If you want, you can come and join on Sunday if you wish.
Cool.
If you're available. No, Sunday is usually your relaxation day.
Yes. I think my wife will be cool with it. She enjoys the Dr. Vibe show. So
yes.
If that's the one thing you're doing Sunday, it should be all right.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes.
Let's say we got Charmaine Hussey. Good morning, Dr. Vibes, and Ryan. Also, Make It Happen show. Good morning. Well, if you're just logging now, watch the replay either on Facebook or YouTube. And again, we're broadcasting live these days on the Dr. Vibe Facebook channel, on the ACBN Facebook channel, the Dr. Vibe YouTube channel. We're on my Twitch. We're on ACBN's Twitch. We're also on Twitter, and also Ryan's own personal YouTube page. And I'm working on another one. I'm speaking it in the next week. We'll have another platform that we're going to be broadcasting.
Solid.
And Tim says, Alethea says, greetings, great greetings. Too bad, Alethea, you got to watch the replay if you're just jumping in now. Tim, thank you very much. Actually, quick little story. Speaking about Alethea. So last week I had a meeting last Saturday, and then after the meeting, I was introduced to Colin from Jerk Express.
Okay, yes.
And long story short, Gospel Jerk Express, or GC, Gospel
GC
Cafe
Jerk
Jerk
Express.
Express, which Ryan has been very instrumental. He couldn't stop bigging up Ryan, the media star. People are asking him to franchise his food truck that live in Shelburne, Alethea. Shelburne.
Right.
So I tried to call Deputy Mayor Steve. I left him a voice message.
It's the Wakanda out there. We have to get out there and see what's happening.
I left a voice message for Deputy Mayor Steve, and now he's so busy with his book tour, but that's okay. But I want them to get together. And what's even funnier, folks, Steve, when he was on last Sunday, said he went to Westview Collegiate. Guess what high school Colin went to? Westview Collegiate.
Right. Nice.
And I think they may be just a few years apart, but I am waiting to introduce them to each other. That is going to be epic.
Love that.
So that when we can bring our people together, that is what this is all about. So Alethea, yes, nice. Alethea, Olivia Fung is excited for Monday. You better be, because we're putting you in the warm seat, not the hot seat.
Right. Yes.
And Alethea, yes. And Alethea, I may actually have him speak with you also, if you're cool with that, because incredible. He shared me his story. I've interviewed him for other things. We have to get him on this.
Yeah, very true.
We have to get him on this. And he was so positive. You and Ryan, you got to keep on doing what you're doing. He is a huge fan of the show, but he has an incredible story. And what's even funnier, his family in Jamaica has a house that is 5 minutes walk from our family home.
Your family
in Jamaica.
Okay. What?
So what I did is I got my dad on the phone, and my dad knows his uncle, his aunt. They were on the phone like for an hour.
Oh, nice.
But it was like a few minutes conversation of being 2.5 hours.
You see that?
It was amazing. It was amazing. And there is a suggestion for you, Ryan Media Star.
What's this? Okay. Hey, Alethea, I'm working on the material already. That will happen in 2022. Book it.
All right. So folks, just wanted to get that in. But yeah, thanks everyone for your continued support. It's appreciated and not taken for granted. So shout out to Alethea, Olivia Fung, Tim Frey, Make It Happen Show, Christopher, as always, everyone else who was watching live or on the replay. We appreciate it. It's not taken for granted. As always, I like to end off our conversations with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. Have an outstanding weekend. We'll see you Monday morning with the superstar Olivia Fung. God bless. Peace to well. Keep the faith.